Because there is one unfortunate reality that the Sacramento Kings are facing, that the Sacramento Kings fans are facing, that the Sacramento Kings fans are really frustrated by. They're not the Warriors. This team's old. LaVine is 30. DeMar's 35. Keegan's 24. Domas is 29. Schroeder's 31. That's probably your starting lineup. And that is, for the most part, that's an old basketball team. Again, I think there's guys on the, especially if the Al Horford signing winds up happening. You got a guy who's 38, 36.
Yeah.
30. How old is Jimmy? 37?
Yeah. That's old to me.
Yeah. It's old. It's older. I mean, the Kings got to be up there.
The Kings, so because the 30s and 28 to 30 is, I don't want to call it the prime, but 28 to 30 is like, maybe it's the end of your prime, right?
30?
Yeah. That 32.
Okay.
32. So like 28 to 32 is like the end of your prime.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're an older team for sure. I don't know if I classify them as old though.
So we'll draw.
They're just like kind of a mid-tier age.
We'll draw a distinction between old and older. No, I'm not trying to be funny. No, I'm serious.
Well, distinction between old and Warriors.
Okay, all right.
They're not Warriors, but yeah, they're an older team.
Kobe Bryant won his MVP at 28 years old. What did we say the end was? 32. Kobe was 25.3 points per game
Kings
when he was 32 years old.
Kings had a top 4 as far as like, I guess, oldest average age in the league last year. I'd assume that's still pretty high this year.
It's got to be. Yeah, it might be older with the addition of Dennis Schroeder. Mm-hmm. And if you add Russell Westbrook, it's going to be even older.
Yeah.
Wonder what Russ's prime ages were. I feel like DeMar, even though he doesn't get recognition for it, he's just been the same.
He has since he stepped into the league. It feels like, at least.
Yeah, a little switch for Russ. He was 32. He was in Washington, but he averaged a triple-double that year. I think that was the year he broke Oscar Robertson's all-time. No, what was the record? Oh, it was the triple-double record, all-time triple-double record.
Is it unfair to say that like the real team building begins after the season?
What do you mean?
Like, I look at this roster full of players or whatever, like they're trying to unload Malik Monk, it seems, and Zach LaVine, it seems, once he's got a year less on his deal, you'd be able to move off of him. Like, there's just like DeMar will be 36, 37 next. There's just,
you're saying next year?
Like after this season that comes up, like that's when they'll really start building on this team.
Yeah,
I can't look at this roster right now and be like, yep, there's a future here beyond even a season or two.
So that's the other uncomfortable reality that I think the Sacramento Kings are facing is, like, I know we joked about a new team phrase, but survive and figure it out. Like, I would rather make the playoffs. I don't care that you don't have a future past this year. I don't care that a whole bunch of things will be in flux when DeMar's contract becomes partially guaranteed, when Zach LaVine enters the final year of his deal, when Keon Ellis, you've hit the point of what's happening here with Keon Ellis. Should it get that far? Where are you at with Keegan Murray at that time? Is Domas cranky? Like, none of that matters. Figure that out next year. The fact is, if you're a rebuild person, a tank person, you can't do that this year. You just can't. It's not realistic. If you are in the tanking crowd, it is far more realistic for it to happen next season. It's completely unrealistic for it to happen this season. Just as much as, making the playoffs, losing in the first round, I don't care. Do that. You're not a contender. This Sacramento Kings team is not a contender. they're not a contender this year. They're not going to be a contender next year. They might not be a contender for a while. So just make the playoffs this year and survive and figure it out. Just figure it out later.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think that, I know there's always the people are upset about Levine and getting him back and all this other stuff and him being on the roster. Do you think that would have been the case regardless, just because Fox wanted out?
What would have been the case?
They would have been in this situation.
Like whether they traded for Levine or not?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so. I think
Levine is a big reason for it.
How wouldn't they be though? Because this
This
how I'm looking. Sorry to cut you off. Fox was the franchise.
Yeah,
he was.
I got
like
you.
he might not have been good enough
you.
to take it, but
I got you.
That was the franchise.
Yeah,
you weren't getting the franchise back, so you were going to be in a perpetual state, or at least for a year, of survive and figure it out until we find that next guy.
Yeah, but like the Levine deal kind of just handcuffs. He was like, yeah, we're stuck with him till like we can't trade him. Rather, if you traded Fox for a lesser deal, it's like some players and picks or whatever. Like you have more room to work with.
But with the league how it is, you're not doing nothing. Like you're not getting somebody. You're not getting somebody. That's how the league.
Yeah, you're not doing it in year one. You're not doing it in year one, but like you're opening up flexibility. Like you can't do anything right here with Zach LaVine or whatever in this spot because like Zach LaVine's contract is here. Like it's just about having flexibility, whether you can or not.
I understand the flexibility, but that's my point though. Nothing was going to happen anyway, whether you have flexibility or not. Like nothing was going to happen this summer, whether you had LaVine or not. Say you just took Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson. And you had money.
But why not?
Because there's nobody available. What you gonna get, KD? You gonna get Giannis?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
LeBron?
I would have took Johnson and Vassell over LaVine. I feel like
that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but the state that this franchise is in, where this ain't the summer, you figure out next summer, would have been the same.
Yeah, the availability of players might have been the same. You might have been a little bit more comfortable in how you could maneuver it.
It'll make you feel better. But where you're at.
What's wrong with feeling good?
Nothing.
He just wants to be sad all the time.
Yeah, like come on, man.
It would have made you feel better, but your situation would have been the same. Like you ain't gonna get nothing done this year in this offseason. I don't believe.
You might be right. This is one of the strangest starts to an offseason I can remember.
Well, because even trading LaVine is still going to be difficult too. Like you still have like a year less and all that, but it's not like LaVine is a sought after player around the league or anything like that. So it's like even then, like yeah, sure you weren't able to do something this year, but it's still going to be tough trying to move LaVine, I feel.
Stephen McBride asked, would the Kings have been better off tanking the last 15 games and keeping their first round pick this past season? No, not in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not.
I wanted that Herter trade over because remember, Stephen, it just would have hung over the franchise for another year. I think the fact that it's over and they still got in the first round with minimal cost, got a player that by all accounts, Scott Perry's really high on. Obviously, he traded back into the draft to get him. I'd rather have that.
Yeah, and
I'd rather have that.
And I'm not even here to say somebody's right or wrong about that. I'm just my preference. Like I just wanted that to be done with.
Get put the Monty McNair era behind you, instead of having that stupid ass trade.
Hey, on my iPad, real quick before we go to break.
And by the way, everyone was moving out of the top 10. Once you got past the top 10, everybody was. There were 20 trades. Or there were 10 trades over the next 20 picks.